What's going on, my PT peeps, my fighters, my Cobra Kai and Karate Kid fans? I'm One Eye Bry, also known as PT. Don't know if I'm winking or blinking, but I'm definitely thinking about Cobra Kai, and Cobra Kai is blank. Fill in the blank. Spoiler warning for Cobra Kai and the Karate Kid, that's for sure, especially the latest season of Cobra Kai, because we're going to talk about it. Spoiler warning. So Cobra Kai is, the first word that comes to me is cheesy, but it's supposed to be. It's campy, it's over the top. I mean, we're talking about karate. Like, it's all-encompassing, a way of life. And for some people, martial arts is. But it's not the end-all, be-all for the majority of us. But please let me know your comments. Fill in the blank. What do you think Cobra Kai is to you? But I love the connecting points from the original movie, and really now the trilogy of movies, coming to the show. And ultimately, I think Johnny Lawrence is the best part of the show, and Daniel is kind of the weakest part of the show, in my opinion. Johnny just taking over the stuff. And it's funny because he's an 80s guy still, and he just loved the callbacks to the 80s, and it's just something that works for me. And, you know, it's a little far-fetched now with MMA and jiu-jitsu, but karate is still important. The least favorite character on the show is Amanda LaRusso, I guess that's her name, but Daniel's wife. She's just always complaining about Daniel doing this and Daniel doing that, and that's the character because she's looking after her husband. But I just love the connecting points that they brought back majority of the cast as they could from the original trilogy. It's pretty cool. We're still waiting to see if we see another person from the Karate Kid series, but we're wondering what's going to happen. What's going to be the end game for the 6th season? I love the twists and turns that they do, and they've made it. But that being said, I think season 5 is the weakest season so far. It just seems forced. Like, so many things worked in the first 4 seasons, in my opinion. When it comes down to it, it's the father and son, father and daughter. You know, it just works for the family dynamic, the dysfunctional family. Like, no family is perfect, and I'm glad they're highlighting that. But that being said, they have really done some things, me being a physical therapist, like Miguel having a serious spinal injury, basically being paralyzed potentially, and they were like, oh, he had a surgery, and now all he's got to do is rehab. Nah, we're going to have Johnny do it. And it's funny, and it works. But now, you know, I'm a physical therapist dealing with spinal cord patients and stuff like that from day to day. And, you know, I see it, and it's not, they're not making fun of it. It's not satire, but they kind of just made it seem so easy to get people back up on their feet. But the stuff with Kreese and Silver worked initially, but the fact that Terry Silver, is the main villain just isn't working. It just seems too much, too far-fetched. I love the callback from the movie, and I would say that the 3rd movie is probably the weakest. I mean, probably the 4th movie, the next Karate Kid, is the weakest. But if we're going in the original trilogy, I think the 3rd movie is the weakest. And now that Kreese is in jail, and I don't know if he's getting out, but ultimately Kreese and Silver have to have a final rundown, showdown at some point, right? Because we can't let John Kreese rot away in jail. Terry Silver is a rich entrepreneur businessman. But the big thing about it is Cobra Kai is going to be global. And when they have that new karate tournament that's worldwide, the Sakakai K or whatever, it just sounds weird to say over and over and over again. And I cannot stand this woman. This woman does not help the show at all. She reminds me of a bad Power Rangers villain, like Rita. Like, she's just, yeah, lesson over. Okay, yeah, like, it's just so bad. I just can't deal with her. She needs to go ASAP. And they love going back for callbacks, and that's what's really good in the universe of things. Now Tori had to break these blocks of stone. Like, come on now. She would break her hand. But again, that's what this show is. It's cheesy. It's fun, though. It's supposed to be. I'm not hating on it. I do love Cobra Kai. Even though the stuff with Miguel at the beginning of season 5, it didn't make any sense. Like, it was so like, all right, Miguel's going to go to Mexico, meet his father, see that he's terrible, and then go away. But I wonder if he'll come back around again. Just not sure. Now, the fact that Chosen is in this season heavily is good and bad. I think they're really relying on Chosen too much. Daniel is like a secondary character. Chosen is involved with this. Chosen is involved with that. He's Chosen. He's beating up all these people. He's doing that. He's connected with Mike Barnes. He's connected with, you know, Johnny. He's connected with Daniel. He's connected with this. He's connected with that. And when he was like destroying the eggs, like, man, that was pretty weak. Like, what was the concept there? They work together? Now, I'm curious to know if you're a martial artist or you like martial arts or action movies or action-packed stuff. What do you think of the fighting and the choreography and just, I guess, the fight sequences of the show? I think they're decent. How about this guy? Is Sean going to come around again? You know, if you know, I'm a Walking Dead fan. If you know this channel, you know we love The Walking Dead. We know Elijah is in The Walking Dead. This guy, could he show up again and really knock some sense into his brother? That's really a pipsqueak. I'm just not a big fan of him either. And the fact that he beat Hawk like the way he did, he learned this one punch in like 2 seconds from Terry and he used it automatically, right? But it's just a fun discussion. I'm not here to rant, and I guess it turns into a rant. But Cobra Kai overall is a fun callback to the 80s stuff, and I just love that about it. So when I think Cobra Kai is, I would say, a cheesy, fun-filled show. But let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. What is Cobra Kai to you? Cobra Kai is. See you guys.